Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Vechain, taking a look at the price action of VET and see what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you've not yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community. You're talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out today. And if you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, everything from bear market strategies through to project reviews and trading, why not check out the Patreon services as well in the description below. Okay, let's get into this. Vechain paired up with USDT. On the hourly chart, Binance is the data source, and we are taking a look at this. We've got this correction here. We had this bounce up. Again, a pretty good trading opportunity if you were able to catch this at the bottom to the top there. I think it was about, 19%, so pretty good. But we have pulled back down. We've actually gone down lower than this point, so there's a couple of different ways that we can look at this. We can look at this as just a straight up A, B, C complete, or we could look at it as a with a B and then a C coming up as an expanding flat, or the C can come down halfway through and be a running flat, or alternatively, this is not an ABC but a WXYXZ. Lots of different ways of looking at it, lots of different narratives on that one. But for the most part, if we take a look at the stochastic RSI, we've got to pull back down, but we could also quite easily surge up from here. We're not too bad, but we want to take a look at the other areas. We've got the 8-hourly stochastic RSI pulling down. We've got the 4-hourly pulling down. The 8-hour actually has to go back up, but we could pull back from here as well, so it's a bit inconclusive there. The daily is actually oversold, the weekly is oversold, but it has a little bit more to come down, and the monthly is oversold as well. So the larger time frames are definitely gearing up for a big move, but there's a little bit more to the downside that's probably expected there, or at least sideways trading just to kind of get things sorted. So as we take a look at this, we've been in a corrective state for a while. 3.5% is probably the next area of support that we want to be focusing in on, and so we got close to that. We've got 3.6, 3.5, so slightly lower, so there's a little bit more of an opportunity in that to be had, but we are looking for reversals. As you can see, if we zoom on back out of here, it is also possible that we pull in down to about 2.9 on the bigger macro scale here, and so we're just going to keep in mind that there's a lot of things going on, lots of different areas that we want to focus in on, and this is the area that I was focusing in on a little while back, where we had all of these confirmations of these low points, and so again, we're right inside that small accumulation zone that we had previously, but do be aware that we could pull back down to about 2.9 in the future, which is the kind of 1-to-1 ratio on the actual macro top level overview of the entire thing. Now, we don't have to go down that low the Z low here. It is possible that we do, but we don't have to. So just keep that in mind, that is the area that we are possibly going to be going down into, just to keep an eye on that one. But for the most part, all eyes really are on 3.5 to see if that holds out for us, and if it does, then that would be fantastic. So that's kind of the smaller time frame. I am expecting some kind of volatility here. It's really hard to actually know exactly which direction this is going to go, but if we do take a look at these waves, we can obviously try to make some assumptions here. One, we've got A, B, C here, right? So we know that's a micro movement. Then we have this. Again, we can chalk this up as again a corrective move, but I think this is the way that this is set up, right? We have one wave here, one wave here. Now, if we were to measure this, now it's not got the right wave counts to be an impulsive structure, but we could argue that it is a 5-wave structure. So we'll go ahead and do that, just because it would make sense that it would follow that suit, which means that's the bottom right there. And again, we can just chalk that up to this. We can see that comes right the way down to our 1.618, so that's our true low. Then we're bouncing up. So I would expect some kind of ABC here, and see what happens next after that. The placement of those 5 waves are interesting. It might mean that we end up with another additional 5 waves coming on down here, and that could take us down to that 2.9 range. So keep an eye on those things. But yeah, for now, I think the next directional move is going to be slightly up, but I wouldn't expect too much from it. I would like to see this little stochastic RSI move down ever so slightly more before we start to move on up in any significant way. But for now, yeah, I would say that that's pretty much the interesting move there. The 3-wave move going up, and then a 5-3-5 maybe going down, And again, that might actually then lead us into no longer being this kind of ABC structure, but more of a WXYXZ kind of play. Something like that would make the most amount of sense. I don't want to throw loads of letters out there, but yeah, it might confuse you guys. Just think of it as a correction that has an additional couple of waves, but not an impulsive structure. And I think essentially that might be what's also going on in here. But you know, for now, we'll keep it as 5 waves, and it might be a 5-3-5 corrective play here before we get the reversal. Okay, and then again, I think that would actually then mark the bottom of this thing. So if I actually pull this up into our daily and I zoom on out, you can see here that our W wave would be basically there. So we end up with this very, very large correction, right? It's basically your 5-wave corrective palette, right? And we got W, you got X, you got Y, you got X, and you got Z. So I think that's the one that's actually going on here. So if I actually now start removing some of this noise, you can start to see what I'm actually talking about, right? You can see that very, very clearly here. So it's basically a corrective sideways trade, slightly descending on this one. But it's also really interesting about this is there is a little bit of a declining trend line between this line. If I grab it right on there and I throw this across here, you can see that that comes all the way down here. And if we were to zoom in on that trend line, you can see how that would be putting us to about 3.5 cents, okay, depending on how long that actually takes to kind of play out, which is an interesting one if I actually have to just pull that up a fraction there as well. You can see that that's actually come pretty much in line with where our we wick down to at the moment at 3.6. So pretty interesting kind of stuff there. So we've got that kind of descending trend line from that perspective, but we also have it up here as well. We can go ahead and draw it from the all-time high. If I can grab it right there, down into here, you can also see that this is slightly tightening, but for the most part, W, X, Y, X, Z, and then from here I would expect the reversal on out of here. This is all a correction, and I wouldn't be overly too concerned with it. And then we should be looking at another either impulsive structure going up or corrective structure going up afterwards. Okay, that's kind of what I'm looking at on the slightly macro scale. Essentially, I do think that we've pulled down very, very significantly right now. At the point of recording the video, we're tracking at 86%. And as I speak about in most of the videos right now, anything lower than 80% in my mind is a perfect dollar cost averaging perspective, right? This is from all-time high. Now, we can expect you could be holding out maybe, waiting for 90%. You might be waiting for 95% because history tells us that those are the levels that we go down to in a bear market. Those are possible scenarios. However, at the time of these retracements, the entire crypto space was tiny, right? We had $300 billion, I think, around the 2013. It might be even less than that. In 2017, it was $750 billion, right? These are vastly small markets. At the all-time high up here, we were 2.5 or 2.6, somewhere around there, trillion dollars, right? So much bigger, so much more adoption than we had previously. So to think that we're going to get the same results with different metrics is just it's just not going to happen, guys. I think it's important that we understand that these are really good targets to have in our minds, but really, let's reflect, we're 86% down. We should probably start thinking that that's a good place to start dollar cost averaging if we haven't done so already, and start building those positions, right? If it drops down lower, dollar cost average again, lower your average price over a period of time. But waiting for these numbers that may never come would be very, very disappointing for many retail investors who do not take advantage of the scenario that is right in front of us right now. This is something that Chris and myself did. And we did this through the pandemic crash of 2020, when fear is at its maximum, the entire world's coming to an end. Everyone was talking about stupid things like the global reset, and essentially none of that stuff has come to fruition. We saw lots of people talking about XRP, and it's going to be backed with gold. It's going to be our way out of this. None of that stuff materializes. Instead, there's nothing but fear instilled in the space and lies. So what you want to do is you want to focus in on what really matters. These is projects that actually have strong fundamentals that are going to survive a long period of time. Specifically, they're going to go through a bear market and into the next bull cycle. And considering the level of retracement that we've come into so far, we're getting close to the bottom of a bear market. We haven't started a bear market, so don't get confused with that. And essentially, find those projects that have true immense value long term and dollar cost average into those as the price retraces lower than 80%. And basically, I think you're going to perform incredibly well. Your portfolios are going to be smashing it in the next move up. And I don't think you'll look back regretting the decision to dollar cost average at anywhere around these levels. And obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot offer you financial advice. All I can do is give you my perspective and my opinion on the crypto space as it stands at the moment. And here for Vechain right now, we are expecting some downside. And that's such a fantastic opportunity to see that we are from all-time high 86% down. This is where the money is really made. This is where the crypto millionaires are made. And this is the point in time that you are looking at this video, you're watching this video, you can take advantage of this situation. Okay, these kind of situations, they don't come around too often, and you want to make sure that you're on the right side of it. You're following the right people that are giving you the information as it is, rather than telling you that they're selling everything, we're in a multi-year bear market, and all that other nonsense. If you want to understand exactly where we are, check out my Bitcoin videos. They actually go through a little bit more of the detail of the actual cycles of where Bitcoin is. Obviously, the rest of the market is following that. And so do check those out if you haven't done so already. And in the case of Vechain here, this is a fantastic opportunity. I believe Vechain long term has true immense power to basically dominate the enterprise blockchain space. They already are globally, and they are going to continue to do that, specifically as they start to move out of enterprise and B2B into B2C as well, and essentially move into DeFi space with their stablecoin that they launched not too long ago as well. So guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.